the CFPL championship roster. They've got a lot riding on them taking this one away and really proving that they can solidify a win streak, because this isn't a roster that's been on top always. They had to fight their way to beat teams like All Gamers and SV to really take the throne as that current #1 team in China. So this is still a big event for these guys to prove to everyone that they're still that #1 team from CFPL.
And I suppose the other thing to discuss as well would be the Pro League teams are played online, correct? This is coming into LAN. How much LAN experience are we talking on these players here? Will they be comfortable in this environment?
Definitely the Chinese teams are going to have a lot more LAN experience on their side, with CFPL being one of the few that has constant LAN presence in their league, whereas the elites usually only have a LAN for the very finals of that tournament. But honestly, both of these rosters do have quite a bit of LAN experience. Black Dragons being one of the teams that consistently makes a presence at a lot of the invitationals we have. I believe they were second place they actually won in Vietnam last year at the Invitational, so they actually had a really strong performance last year. They just unfortunately couldn't close it with a strong performance at CFS in the global finals. But obviously, against the likes of Q9, it's anybody's guess to whether or not they can actually make this happen. Q9 just looked phenomenal in the CFPL Grand Finals, taking it 3-2 over All Gamers, so they definitely have a lot of momentum on their side going into this event.
So quite the challenge then coming in for Black Dragons up against their opponents here of Q9. We'll be checking out Black Dragons in a second, jumping over to their side of the stage. But while we have a quick look here, this is a very fancy setup, isn't it? It's quite a nice stage.
Yeah, definitely a crazy setup here, but looking at Black Dragons, definitely a team I'd say out of everyone I've seen so far, they looked very, very confident today. There's just a lot of high energy on this roster, and I think that really helps them be one of the more dominant teams, especially in Brazil here. But just looking at that lineup, I'd definitely say the go-to guys for me are going to be Will and Danimal. Both of those guys consistently high fraggers for this lineup.
Yeah, so I was starting to say that before we transitioned away from it. I did watch Danimal playing some during the CROSSFIRE Stars Grand Finals when I was doing some preparation for this event, and he's certainly a monstrously good player. I saw him in 1v2s, 1v3s, getting, if not the win, then getting all bar one of the kills and going very close on the last. And he seems to be a very strong aim and clutch player for me. Of course, I'm sure we'll see a lot of that from these guys here today. This is a big stage. It's coming into an even bigger one for these teams who can make it through the group stages here, make it into the tournament stage, getting into that stadium if they make it to the final. It's certainly a lot to play for, and so it's a lot to inspire these teams, I guess, to push really hard and try and make it to that massive arena with all of those fans and show their best.
Yeah, and it's not a situation where one of these teams either is going to be able to slide through the group stage with an easy win, because everyone has to play everybody at some point here in the group stage. So you really have to have your best overall consistent performance here to make it through into that top four. And Black Dragons, honestly, they're a bubble team for me. They could make it or they could not. They have a lot of sort of hit and miss performances in the past, but really if they could start off with a win against Q9, that is a huge step forward for them in their overall standing.
Absolutely that, because not only is it them going 1-0 in this, as you say, round robin group, where you do have to play everyone, getting one of your tougher opponents out of the way with a win starting off would be a huge thing for their confidence, because amongst these 6 teams, there's teams that you'll be more or less happy to play against, and getting a win over one of the big dogs like Q9 would be a great start. But let's have a look at this veto here. Mexico and Black Widow are going to be banned out. As you predicted, Black Widow gone, and Subbase where we end up.
And honestly, this is a very, very good map for Black Dragons. This is a map that consistently Chinese teams get upset on. So honestly, Black Dragons, they're going to be starting on the defensive side as well. I think they have a lot going right for them when it comes to this pick and ban phase. They made the right decision. They took out a map that they know Q9 is confident on, and honestly, they got the best of this pick in my eyes.
So perhaps a chance for Black Dragons then heading into Subbase, but we'll let the teams have a quick huddle here, exchange a few words, and like you said, there's a lot of animation here in this Black Dragons team. They're all getting quite into it. Here they're having a good chat there on the microphones. And I think this is a team, to me, this is definitely a team that looks confident. This isn't a team who is saying, we just need to not get beaten too badly. This is a team who looks confident taking a win over Q9.
Yeah, definitely Black Dragons, always a team confident they can crush everyone in their path. And honestly, in the Elite League Finals for Brazil, that's exactly what they did. They actually had to fight their way from the lower bracket as one of the last teams in, and they beat everyone, swept their way back through, and came out with a confident win and took home the win for Elite League Brazil. So definitely a team to keep your eyes on here. I wouldn't underestimate them, because they're a team that's beat top-tier Chinese teams in the past. They took down SV while they were in their prime, and now Q9 being in the #1 seat, Black Dragons always a team gunning to try and take down these #1 Chinese lineups.
Can I push you for a predicted score, or would that be too much?
honestly, looking at the map now, originally going into it, I definitely would have said Q9, but this is the one map where I had some hesitation on. I'm actually going to go ahead and say 10-8. I think Black Dragons is actually going to take this. They have everything going right for them, but they still have to start this one off with a lot of confidence and some early momentum. But 10-8 Black Dragons.
And that's going to all 18 rounds as well, so it's a long game, it's a close game, but you are willing to give it to Black Dragons. Look, I'm inclined to agree. I think no matter what, this should be a longer game towards the 15-18 rounds mark. I don't think Q9 are going to run away with this too easily, given the map that we have ended up on. This should be, as you've said, a map where Black Dragons can push them a little bit. And if nothing else, this is not going to be like a 10-2 for Q9. Even if they do run away with it a little bit, I feel like they should be tested here.
Yeah, and I can almost tell in their expressions, this is a map that they feel confident they can win on. This is not a team that looks like they're going to fall down very easily. They have a very confident stance on this map, and I think this should give them a chance to close out with a nice first win here. But still, it's a best of one. Anything can happen, and that first half is going to be very crucial here to that success. Absolutely
that. And again, confidence as the huddle comes to a close here. A few final words being exchanged. Black Dragons do indeed look ready and sound ready to go. So game number one, Q9 versus Black Dragons. You're giving it to Black Dragons. I'm not sure I'm confident making a prediction either way until I see these teams play, but I think either way, Kyle, it's going to be a very, very good one here on Subbase. Looking forward to it.
We should just be about ready to hop in here with this map. It is going to be a best of one for all of these as well. So definitely a lot of pressure here, but Black Dragons, they've got everything going right here. Now they just have to prove it. I mean, they've got the veto down just on point for themselves. They're going to be on the defensive half, which is usually the more comfortable half for most teams here on Subbase as well. So I definitely think they have everything in the books to make this happen. It's just going to come down to performing under this pressure of being on a Chinese stage, which honestly can still add a bit of a difference maker here.
We'll see then how they perform. This is, of course, the first game of the tournament as well for these two teams, so always that bit of pressure where it's the first game in the new environment here for Black Dragons, and technically that's still more of a new environment for Q9, and they've got to feel it out, see how everyone's aim's feeling, see how they're all going on this stage in this setup. I think we are nearly ready to go. Both teams looking pretty comfortable here in this side-by-side.
Now it's just going to come down to how it all starts off. Really, Black Dragons, they're going to have to really anchor down on their defense and make sure that this team of Q9 can't just storm their way into some early Blacklist side rounds, because if you let the team on the Blacklist side control that momentum, it can all be downhill from there. But we're going to hop right into it here, and it looks like we're already going to see a little bit of an action down here towards Woods. Q9 already going for that early control towards the A bomb site. Vienna going to be on the A bottom here, playing behind the missiles, just waiting for someone to strike. But Q9, they're just playing for map control to start this one off.
So a slow start for the attacking side from Q9. Getting a bit of position. Animal waiting in a corner for these players to come his way. 30 seconds gone. It's been a slower start to the round, but Q9 looking to be preparing some utility. Perhaps ready to strike very soon, but Danimal is laying in wait inside the vents here. And as soon as someone comes into his crosshair, he'll be more than ready to take that shot. Full AK-47s on that defensive side as well, and Danimal surely has some action coming his way very, very soon, but maybe not. Not quite. Here comes Zemo, though. The first face and destroys Danimal. That's an excellent opening pick.
Great way to get it started, indeed. Danimal going down. Vienna's going to be taken out on the A-bomb site as well. Unfortunately, Q9, they lose a player in the process there. It's going to be Yaze going down on the rotations, though. It's not going to matter. Zemo finds himself a secondary frag there, and it's already going to be a 1-on-4 for Knotson. Not really the way that Black Dragons was hoping to start this, but brilliant picks coming out from Q9 to get the ball rolling here, and this should easily be a round that they can close out with a win. That nade already going to take a little bit of damage off of Knotson as well. Zemo still playing here on the top of this back staircase, and he's just going to actually run into trouble there from Solo, but Zemo, he gets the closer. That's 3 kills for him in the opening round, and his shot looking very confident to start this one off.
Q9 looking very confident as well, getting very excited about each and every kill. That first one onto Danimal, they were very loud indeed. They knew how much it meant. What a strong defensive player he can be. So Q9 will take themselves that 1-0, the first round of the first game of the CROSSFIRE Global Invitational here in China. And they've started off the right way. Been to the AWM looking for a pick here, but no one presenting it over the top of the door. And Black Dragon will want to be answering straight back here with another round of their own. Don't want to go down early.
Right now, Black Dragons playing extremely passive, and this could be something that comes back to bite them because they're giving Q9 a lot of map control here over towards this A bomb site, and Q9, they're just going to be abusing that, holding the long angles and waiting for a pick to come in. They do need to be careful, though. They weren't able to hold that vent control in the first round, and not being able to hold on to that is something Q9 may start to abuse here because you can definitely use that vent's position to have late round flanks and even some solid rotations on the post plant here. Right now, though, we see Q9, it looks like they may actually back off and potentially take this bomb over towards B. We've got Bean here. He's going to be rotating around to meet up with Zemo. And it looks like they may go for the B execution here. Still no full commitment just yet. They're going to be taking their time. We've got ZZ here cleaning up everything on these small angles as you work into B, but they're still taking their time using that utility. They're going to smoke screen out to try and get across here. Now they're going to be playing up in the rafters. Will, though, he's definitely going to be back here on the bottom of the site. ADRF, though, finds one. Will finds another. It's going to be a double kill for Black Dragons on the board, and so far they've held it off nicely. It's a triple kill on the board from ADRF, and Will cleans it up, and you can see the hype there from Black Dragons. They tie it up right away 1-1.
And you can see just how much these rounds mean to them. Lots of excitement as they get that one across the board. A little bit concerning with how passive they were playing in the start. They did give, as you said, Q9 a lot of map control, a lot of respect. But when it comes to the firefight, the trades go all Black Dragons' way. They do answer immediately back with their first round victory. Q9, though, won't be too bothered by that as the setup continues to shift for Black Dragons. Just trying to find themselves some slightly unexpected angles here. And again, it's Q9 slowly taking some map control, seeing what they can find passively, and then given how these rounds have been going, they'll go passive for as long as they can and then get the execution going, try and overwhelm Black Dragons with the grenades. But we'll see exactly how it does go for them as we near 45 seconds gone and no contact taken just yet, but surely soon.
Right now, Black Dragons, again, playing a very passive setup, and it's basically to avoid this contest down woods towards A bottom. They don't want to actually fight that lane control because they know that they are going to have a sniper on the side of Q9 holding that angle early. So I like the decision from them to give it up, play a more passive angle. They don't want to take the sniper aim duel challenges because honestly, Black Dragons, not a team that has a very confident sniper on their roster. They generally gravitate towards 5 AKs, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Just anchor down and wait for the execution. If they can do what they did last round, have some solid rotations and some good entry fragging, they could definitely close it with a first half win here. But this is their chance to hold on to that early momentum and really start to build a lead here against Q9. But Q9 right now definitely hesitant as well on this execution. They seem pretty unsure of themselves on where they want to take this bomb, but it looks like it is going to be a slow rotation, and they're going to be zoning in towards this A-bomb side execution.
And Q9 after that last round will certainly need to give Black Dragons a bit of respect, showing they're not going to be a walkover, but here comes the execute. The flashbang's here. Danimal the first base. He's found the first, looking for more. Pre-firing around the corner. Bianna's getting involved as well. 2 kills unanswered so far for Q9, and they're continuing to get shot at. There's not much they can really do, but 28 seconds. Still time to move in. Danimal strikes again, looking for a third. Can't quite get it. Bean does clean him up, but it's a 1 versus 3 now. All onto Solo. Appropriate for his name by himself. I don't think he really has too much time to do anything here. 15 seconds, 3 players to find all over this bomb site. The first one comes in, fight 2! Oh my God, Solo!
Amazing play, and this is really one of the key players on this roster that you definitely want to look out for. Black Dragons, they got overconfident. They thought they had the round locked down, but Q9, a team that has so many clutch players on their lineup, that's what you have to be afraid of against the Chinese rosters because they can clutch at any moment. And just like that, a round for Black Dragons that should have been is taken away, and Q9 have a 2-1 lead.
And that's going to help with the Q9 confidence, certainly. A massive individual play in just the 3rd round of the game here. Heroics from Solo to get his team across the line. And like you said, Black Dragons, they thought they had it. They all committed for the kill, but Solo managed to isolate it, get those 3 quick headshots, and away it went. So, now for Black Dragons. Again, they've started off well. They've got Vianna finding this first pick. So they've got that 4v5 man advantage early. And last round, they had it down to a 3v1, but have to see if they'll be able to hold on to it this time. Again, though, they've got that first pick, and they're now playing a bit more cautious, falling back, making sure that no one goes down too easily, or at least not without being traded. So we'll see how Q9 choose to attack this one.
Right now, Notson going to have some trouble here over towards the B lockers. He's going to have to just fall off and wait for his team to rotate in for support. Definitely just some smart, methodical play coming out from Black Dragons. They don't want to try to go for these solo engages. They know Q9 have the aim game to win it here, so they really just want to try and play for the trade frags as a team. But Bean finds himself a nice pick up the wood, takes down Danimal. And now things starting to look a bit better for Q9 already. Not Zin taking a lot of damage in the process as well with that wood engage. Now Q9 have even more map control to work with in this 4-on-4.
Time is ticking down, just 54 seconds remaining, but nonetheless, it's plenty of time for Q9 now that they've found this first pick. They know that something on Black Dragons has to give now, whether it's a rotation that moves or whether it's just a gamble stack, whatever it is, they've got an opening now that they can work with. And like you say, the HP is not really there, not sim quite low. Vienna tagged down as well, and no one on full HP, so Q9 do have the better of the health just slightly, but 30 seconds left now. The push will have to come in. It will be towards his A-bomb site once again. The grenade's in, flashes out, and here comes Zemo on the entry. Spotted out the first player, can't find it, gets flashed, but Bean has found the entry onto Will. 3 versus 4 now, Vienna trades it back, 17 seconds time ticking away. Q9 again playing this incredibly late round push, and the kills just aren't coming, but there they are. Zemo's in, looking for one. The double kill comes out for him. They do open up this bomb sights in, gets sprayed down around the corner as well. And Q9, it's another slow round. It's a late round execute, but they do get it done.
Yeah, Q9 doing a great job of just adding even more pressure to Black Dragons by running down the clock over and over again. And that's definitely played in their favor because Black Dragons, the later the round comes forth, it just seems like they get nervous when that clock starts to tick down, and that's when the mistakes come through. And then Q9, they're always there to capitalize. This time, Bean, though, goes for the early pick onto Vienna, misses the shot, though. He's going to have to fall back. Black Dragons, though, still not going for too aggressive of control, but they are going to establish a player in wood, and they're actually going to bring a sniper into the hands of Vienna this round as well.
And we've seen Bean fighting this angle every round so far, pretty much. This is the first time that there's been the answering AWM to play against him. Vienna will be looking for this first pick, and that would be a very big kill to find. Bean given a shot, but does miss it again. Bean's found the opening kill in this position pretty much every round so far for Q9, so let's see if he can do it again. But Vienna is here and waiting this time as Bean continues hunting, but no luck. Still though, Q9 up by 2 rounds. Still looking pretty comfortable here.
And now again, we see Q9 very unsure at the start of these rounds where they want to take things for the potential map control that they can go for here. They just seem to wait for Black Dragons to slip up, and that's when they strike here. But so far, the strategy has worked out quite well from them. Black Dragons getting very nervous under this pressure, seem to slip up time and time again. And this is really Black Dragons with a chance to still anchor down and win these rounds. They're having the positional advantages they need here to create the rounds to go their way. They just have to make sure they're trading out and not giving one of these players the ability to go off individually, and right now that's been Q9's bread and butter. Zemo, Solo, both of them have gone off in these solo situations very effectively, and ADRF running into some trouble here. He's going to be taken down. Zemo again finding another opening here for his team. Solo finds another on the Natsun, and it's already a 3v5. Vienna, though, on the flank. He's going to take down Zemo, but it may not be enough. It's Danimal and Vienna in a 2v4, and Black Dragons, you can tell, they are very anxious in this one.
Constantly checking back and forth, not sure where to look. The bomb goes down as well. A lot of pressure on for Black Dragons now. Just the 1 round in hand, and Bean's come through with the flank as well. It's just Danimal left 1 versus 4, and he's been flanked out as well. Yaze comes through. And that's the 4th round now for Q9. You know, we thought this game was going to be close, and based on those first 2 rounds it was 1-1, and then Solo came through with that massive 1v3, and since then Q9 haven't really skipped a beat. The rounds they've won since that one haven't been too close either. They've just been finding these picks and rolling through the Black Dragon defense. Have to see if they can keep doing that here. But they're up 4-1. Doing well so far in this first half of their first game here in the group stages. And Black Dragon, they actually say they do seem to get very nervous when this timer ticks down. They're unsure of what to do when they just sit back passive. They're giving Q9 a lot of map control, but they get antsy. They lose the first kill, and then Q9 capitalize. So see if that continues to happen so far in this round, but it seems to be a pretty similar strategy from Q9 here, Carl.
Yeah, definitely Q9. They're just running down this clock to perfection right now. On top of that, you have great individual play coming out from Bean, Zemo, and Solo. All of them getting those entry frags to start off the rounds has been so crucial to their success so far in this best of 1. And Black Dragons, they really just need to land the shots in these 1v1 situations. They have the setups here to close this one out and potentially even take back this half if they can step it up here. But when it comes down to the 1v1 aim duels, Q9 is just besting them time after time here.
And I feel that was very well encapsulated in that Solo 1v3. It wasn't really that big of a mistake from Black Dragon. Like, the peak timing was a little bit off. They did give him 3 1v1s, but the fact that he's able to convert that is a huge thing for him. And this time, though, the first pick goes to Black Dragons. They will be starting off with that opening kill and taking a lot of positioning now away. But Q9 with a minute left, starting to rotate back over. See what else they can find elsewhere on the map. And in the 4 versus 5, I would say this is advantage Black Dragon, but we've seen before how quickly these rounds can turn around, and it's going to be on Danimal here. He needs to get at least one before going down.
It looks like they are gravitating towards this A bomb site, but Black Dragons, they've read this quite well. They're already going to pre-rotate most of their team over towards the A bomb site, so this execution should be shut down, but Q9, they're going to read into it. They're already falling back here into mid, and they have a chance now to go for the counter-aggressive play to catch them on the rotation here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to push upward, but Will, he's there to try and contest, but one is not going to be enough. ZZHY finds the double kill, but ADRF gets the triple to answer back, and that's what Black Dragons needed to get back into this one.
Massive play there. Coming through from ADRF on Black Dragons, getting that triple spray down on that flank. It was flanks flanking flankers towards the end there. Just all the rotations running into each other. But in the end, Black Dragons do come away with it again. It's an individual play, and this time a very early engagement. It goes 1 for 1, 2 for 2. In fact, as Black Dragons keep this even, and it's ADRF now waking up. 3 kills. Brought back into a 2v2 there by some trading from Q9. And these ADRF and Will to try and clutch this one out, get a 3rd round for their team. If they can do that, this game is immediately in contention once again, and the lead will be all but gone for Q9.
ADRF just playing phenomenally as well. That's 2 triple kills back-to-back, and on the opener of this round, he didn't even lose any HP in that process, grabbing all 3 of those frags as well. So that's a lot from him already in this round, but they still have to try and close this one out. It would be such a momentum boost for them to get 2 in a row and make it just a 1-round difference here, separating these 2 teams, and it may even make up for that lost round in the 1v3 earlier, but they do need to be careful. Solo and Bean, 2 very strong players to be going against in this 2v2. Will definitely going to have to step up to the plate here. He hasn't been too much of a threat so far for Black Dragons, but he's definitely going to be crucial in trying to close this one out for Black Dragons. But the bomb still is in the control of Q9 here. They have it on Solo right now. It's just a matter of where they wanted to go. But you see ADRF and Will, they're going to be risking it here to play together on the top of A, just playing this nice cross setup here for anyone who might come through from lobby or potentially from the bottom of A.
Well, I like this play from them. In the 2 versus 2, they choose to play together, and either they crossfire the attacking side when they walk into them, or they can rotate together and play it as a 2v2. They're not giving the chance for Q9 to find that 2v1. Unfortunately, though, looks like Q9 have chosen correctly. Not going to be walking into them just yet. They might be able to get this bomb down relatively easily here in just a second. But still going to work their way around to this B-bomb site. They're taking all the time they have to do it.
And now they're going to be checking all the angles here. Q9, though, again, running down that clock to see if the pressure comes on to Black Dragons. And they may just wait till the very last minute they can to plant this bomb. They only need about 5 seconds on the clock to get it down, so they still have more than enough time to make that happen. But as you can see, Black Dragons, they're playing patient here. They're not going to be caught off guard just yet, but they're going to have to go for the full retake now. And Solo going to be planting it behind the missile here. And now it's all about the setup here from Q9. They have a chance to shut this down on the post plant and put up yet another round for their team, but they definitely want to be careful not to give up a 1v1 peak here. Will already going to be spotted from the back of Cage, being smartly falling off, but it's going to be ADRF again going for huge plays here. That's 4 kills on the round. He's looking for the ace here, and he could potentially make that happen. Solo left in a 1v2 now. ADRF playing behind the bomb site, but Solo gets dinked there down to half HP. Not going to matter. ADRF comes through with the ace. Big round from him to keep Black Dragons on the board.
That's 8 kills in 2 rounds for ADRF, and you can see how much it means to him. He's telling Q9, a bit of what for? Better cop that, lads. And it's a massive individual performance that wins Black Dragon the round, but they'll take those. It was Solo with a massive individual performance that won that 3rd round, their 2nd win, round 3 of the game for Q9. So why not? Someone on Black Dragon needs to step up individually, and indeed he has. Look at the difference there. ADRF sitting 12 and 5, Nots in 1 and 6. The Black Dragon, they've brought it back to just a 1-round difference now. Even if it is all one player, at least it's working. We're right back into a competitive match.
Here we have it again. They decide not to contest Bean on the wood pick. He's going to be playing it again on the cross, and I think it's smart for them after they realized they weren't able to beat him in that sniper duel. They put it up. They put the arm down, and then Viana, he just backed up onto the AK. So definitely a smart decision from Black Dragons to just give it up and let them have that wood control and just make sure their rotations are nice and responsive here. And that's exactly what they'll do at any angle that they've lost so far. They haven't re-challenged yet again against Q9. So definitely smart reading their opponents here, knowing the aim duels they can and cannot win here. But here comes a full execution onto the A bomb site. And guess who's there again? ADRF finds the first. Danimal finds another, but Vienna goes down without a fight. And this could be a crucial mistake from Black Dragons. Their A bomb site hold has been taken out. So now they have to have a very solid execution on this rotation and retake, but ADRF again finding the openings here, gets himself a second frag on the round, and it's already a 4-on-2, huge advantage. ZZHY has to come up big, finds the first, Yaze finds another, but Notson, he's there to trade it out. Yaze though in a 1v2, he's left alone, and Notson finally stepping up to the plate here for his team, closes it out with a nice double kill there.
And that will tie up the scores here between Q9 and Black Dragon. 4 rounds apiece. Again, it's these later round full executes from Q9, but this time Black Dragon, they do well managing to hold on to it. Getting the crucial kills alive in order to make the retake possible. Now the setup though will change for Q9 somewhat. It's always been Bean here contesting this area, but he has 2 more players with him. They might decide to commit some pressure here. See if they can find that kill a little bit more aggressively. This round started off the right way, and again, as you said, ADRF is unstoppable right now. 14 kills and 6. No one on the server is even close to him. I think he might even be the only one in double digits. Yes, he is. That's a ridiculous performance from him, and that's the sort of thing that you need against a team like Q9. You need your stars to really be firing up, and so far for Black Dragon, that has indeed worked. But for Q9, it's back to basics. It's the slow map control and the late round crunch.
And now Black Dragons, they were down to 4-1. This is their chance to still close out the half 5-4 in their favor, which would be a huge boost of momentum. 4 rounds in a row, and they're potentially going to do it here. ADRF and Danimal already finding frags, but the answer comes back. Bean finds himself a double kill there behind the smoke, and now Q9 sit comfortably in a 3v1 against Vienna here.
He just spotted out Bean, and Bean too should have spotted him, so his position is known. But Vienna, last round of the half, will of course go for this bomb down as well. He's going for the AWM here, looks to find this opening duel against Bean, and unscopes just at the wrong moment. Now they know exactly where he is. The grenade's going to rain on him. 28 seconds remaining. Not much time here for Vienna, but he has to go for it. Straight through the smoke. He will move up. Goes back to that AK-47. Gets flashed out too. A very, very difficult retake, but worth the go, of course, and Solo will take him out.
Definitely a round that could have gone Black Dragon's way, but again, the counter picks came through for Q9. 2 double kills coming on the board, making it that 3v1, and just a great way for them to close it out. It looked a little bit shaky from them those last 3 rounds leading into the final round, but again, they still come out on top 5-4 at the half.
And that's a pretty good start for them, but also, as must be said, a good comeback into it from Black Dragon. As you said, down 4-1 at one point. That could easily have been an 8-1, 7-2 sort of half had they not managed to get things going again, but it's some individual brilliance from the likes of ADRF that gets it done. I think he finished the half on 15 kills or something like that. No one else even close to him. So it's an individual massive performance, sure, but nonetheless, it does keep Black Dragon in very close contention for this game.
Yeah, now Black Dragons, they're really in a situation where they just have to come out very strong in this second half. They can't afford to be fighting from behind like they were in the first, so they really have to have some aggressive plays to start this one off. I wouldn't be surprised if we see just a quick execution from them to start off this first round of the half, but right now, they're just going to be playing a control play, actually. They're going to send 3 into the B control room and just 2 passively looking out towards a long up for that wood pick, so still very passive play from Black Dragons to start off this second half here. We'll see if it can pay off.
ADRF leading the charge here in the control room. Looking for that opening kill, but won't be handed it, unfortunately, so we'll have to fall back instead. Black Dragon here, taking it slow. Not quite as slowly as Q9 did, but still taking it slow. Scoot past the window so as to not be taken down by a watching AWM player. We'll be able to move through here, make their way towards this A bomb site.
Q9 now should have a pretty good idea of this. I think Q9 actually caught a couple Black Dragons players on the strafe pick, but they're actually going to push right back into him. This could be a great play coming out from Black Dragons, but still, they have to be careful as they explode out of the wood doors, but it's actually going to work out perfectly. But Bean gets a brilliant cross pick. Zemo gets the double kill from Cage, and still Q9 hold on even in a tough situation here. Will now left in a 1v2 as he takes down Yaze there. Still, Black Dragons with the potential to win this round. The bomb is down in lobby, but they have to be careful as Bean has been on point in these late round situations. He goes for the wide peak, doesn't matter. Will finds the 1v1. Can he get the 1v3? No, it's not going to happen. ZZHY steps it up and wins the 1v1.
A very, very near thing, though. That was almost another massive 1v3. The second we would have seen between these two teams. But in the end, Q9 just managed to hang on to it. And again, it looks like it will have to be these individual plays that win rounds for Black Dragon. Because even in that last half, the rounds where they had that first pick, they immediately lost another 1 or 2, pretty much every single round, until they were able to get the trades coming through. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here, if on their attacking side they'll be able to do a bit better. But at the start of things, it's CCHY to save them from a very dangerous situation. 4 and 6 now the scoreline. Just 4 more needed for Q9. And they're going to put ADRF 1 point. He was certainly that way last half. We'll see if he can find some more damage here.
Right now, Yaze going to be in a great position to try and shut things down if this B push does come through, but they are playing almost a full retake position here from Q9, just having Zemo watching the cross here from lockers, but they are going to slowly push in and rotate into this B bomb site. Black Dragon still, they haven't decided where they want to actually take the bomb here. It's going to be sitting outside of mid, but they still are trying to get a pick over towards wood. They've got a couple players here just lurking around, trying to find some entries, but Solo finds the first here, but ADRF, again, he's going to lead the charge, finds himself one, but it may not be enough here. Still, the trades come through. It's a 2v2. Vienna, though, escaping with just a sliver of HP here. And now Solo and ZZHY are left to try and build a retake, but Danimal comes from behind, finds one onto Solo, and now it's down to the 1v2. ZZHY trying to save the round for his team once again. This time, though, 2 players stand in his way, but it's not going to matter. Vienna doesn't even care how low his HP is. He swings out and takes the pick.
And once again, we're back to just 1 round, separating these 2 teams. Q9 and Black Dragon certainly delivering. You called this to be an 18-round game, Kyle. I think you might be right. We'll have to see how accurate your prediction was. You could say 10-8 in favor of Black Dragons. I think it could go either way, but I think a 10-8 certainly on the cards here, given how competitive this is. Will looking for this first entry, but won't find it, and will fall back instead. Choosing to regroup with his team, not commit too far away alone. And now for Black Dragon, very important round for them here. Just 1 behind. Would love to tie this one up. Don't want to let Q9 get away with any more rounds than they really have to. We've already seen the firepower, the potential here of Q9 to just grab any round and tear it away. No matter how bad the situation is for them, they've been able to convert an awful lot of these rounds. Let's see which way Black Dragons do choose to go here with this bomb. Still got a minute and a half to play with, so a lot of time.
This could definitely be a tough situation, though. Q9 has almost played a little bit gambly towards A, but they're rotating off of A just as the bomb is slowly easing in, and this could be a tough situation. Q9, they already start to rotate off, but just as they rotate off, Black Dragons, they're already fighting their way in. They have to be careful, though. ZZHY hides behind the pyramid stack, gets a huge triple kill, finally gets taken out, but he's done his job. 2 full here. It's going to be Solo with 1. Danimal left in a 1-on-4 now. And again, ZZHY there coming up big time there with that 3 kill to open it up.
And surely this one is too far gone for Danimal now. 1 versus 4. We've seen 1v3s he is given the first kill. Zemo down, so 3 more to find, I should say. But Danimal, not a lot that he can really do. And Bean going to lock down the long-range angle with the AWM. Find that frag, and Q9 still away. Another one. You thought that maybe that was around for Black Dragons. They did manage to get the perfect timing going into that bomb site just as Q9 were rotating, but in the end, it's ZZHY not checked, pulling up a massive triple kill before he goes down and pretty much taking the entire round away from Black Dragons in that 1-2-second engagement. So again, 2 rounds the lead for Q9, inching further and further in front, but the biggest lead we've had so far, I think, has been 3 rounds, and let's see if Q9 can do any better here.
Yeah, definitely a bad round for Black Dragons, just not reading the positionings well enough and checking all of their corners before they pushed in, and they really need to start playing a little bit more careful here. Otherwise, Q9, they're just 3 rounds away from closing out this map already, and in a best of 1, you can't afford even a couple rounds of a lead over to your opponent here. So Black Dragons, they really need at least a round out of these next 2 to go their way. Otherwise, it could just fall away from them at this point. But again, they're going to be favoring this A bomb site execution. This time, though, ZZHY, again, he's playing a close angle and hoping that they don't check it. He's going to be playing for the potential push, though, from upper A. He has no idea that they're all just shifting in to this lower A bomb site. But Bean, he's going to be taken down as well. ZZHY, he's spotted early as well. And that's going to be a huge entry. Will finding the double kill. ADRF finds 1. Danimal tries to get the lurk in vents, but he's taken down by Yaze on the rotation, but does a lot of damage onto him in the process. The nades rain out up to the top of A, but it's not going to matter. Q9 pretty much at a loss in this one. Yaze with just a sliver of health goes down. Vienna finds the double kill to close this out in another round for Black Dragons, and still it remains a 1-round game here.
ZZHY was looking for another big double or triple kill there. He did have been watching the angle for him, watching for the push, but excellent pre-fire coming out from Black Dragons. Immediately destroys that AWM player. That's a very narrow angle from Bean. He won't quite be able to hit it, but After that last round where he did just get run over, he's looking to have a bit more of an impact here, taking a bit more of an aggressive angle, trying to find an opening pick. But as you say, a one-round game. Almost nothing separating these two teams as we thought it would be. On the whole, I think Q9 have looked better individually when it comes to the aim, but ADRF certainly has been doing very well, and all the Black Dragons are starting to step up now on their attacking side. So to see, ooh, that's a nice little shot there. Zemo gets taken down, it's peeking for info. That's the 4v5 that they've been looking for. Black Dragons could make this a 7-7 game.
Now we see them zoning in towards this B bomb site, and rightfully so. There's actually only one player holding on to it. It's going to be Bean just playing the cross from the back of side here. Just going to be sniping and hoping someone runs into his crosshairs. But Vienna, if he's aware of this positioning that he's used a couple times before, he could just challenge it here and win the duel 1v1 and open up this site completely. They also want to be careful, though. Solo, he has snuck here in the mid, finds himself a pick and the bomb down. That's a huge play. Bean finds one on the cross pick as well, and it's already a 4-on-3. Q9 looking a bit more comfortable already in this situation, but Danimal, he's going to be challenged as well. Solo wants to find himself a second kill, but Danimal won't let him have it here. He's going to back off, does lose a bit of HP there, but still no more kills falling for Q9 just yet.
Crucially, though, the bomb is retrieved for Black Dragons now, so at least they've got themselves that, but Danimal is just going to be taken down by Solo, re-aggressing once again. Perfect timing. Notson will get one, but it's a 2 versus 3 now. 40 seconds remaining. ADR is going to go down. That's a huge scalp to claim, and Notson 1 versus 3. He's found himself that first kill, continuing to look for more, but not a whole lot of time to work with. Has enough to be able to rotate around, but needs to best both Yaze and ZZHY. Very difficult, but he's going to go over towards that A bomb side here. I think it might just get in here uncontested, get that bomb down potentially. Make this into a 2v1 post-plant situation. He will be going for that plant. Looks like he will get it down as well. Now he's just got to find them 2 1v1s. It's crucial he takes these fights 1 versus 1 and not in the stacking engagement, and he's making the play, trying to find them out. Notson looking for the 1v3 here. He's found a good position, but Q9, they're going in together, wanting to make sure they get that trade as soon as Notson reveals himself.
The important thing to consider here is, has he planted the bomb to be seen for him? He has. He has the positioning advantage here to win this. Takes it down to a 1v1 with a big headshot there on his ZZHY. Now Yaze has to try and potentially fake the defuse, but it's not going to happen. 1v3, and that's finally going to counteract the one that went against them earlier and tie this one up 7-7. And this is where Q9, they definitely want to be very careful here. They had a huge advantage in this round, and they still let it slip. But Notson, it's nice to see him step up. He didn't do a lot in the first half, but now in the second half, he's definitely come to life here.
Planting the bomb for himself and playing that 1 versus 2 perfectly. So grabbing both those frags pretty easily in the end. So 7-7. As close as you could want for a game like this for the opener of the tournament here. And Black Dragons now look like they're on a little bit of a roll here on their attacking side. No longer is it just Q9 rolling all over them and one player going huge. Admittedly, that round it was, but the entries are starting to work now for Black Dragons. They're starting to get these frags going. And Q9 going for some stacks. 2 players going together to try and mow down the entire attacking side. Flashbang not going to work. They do still cross, and the trades do come through 1 for 1. Zemo will grab that 1 frag, and he isn't pushed either, so he gets a chance to fall back, get the grenade out, and take a different position. Unfortunate for Black Dragons, they couldn't find the trade, but now they've got to try and find this advantage elsewhere.
And now you see Q9, they're pushing out for info. Will catches it. He's ready for that flank to come out from ZZHY, and that's exactly what Black Dragons needed. They got the entry frag, but they didn't commit. They wanted to see if Q9 would get counter-aggressive, and then they punished them. And now Q9 has to be in a tough position here, 3-on-4, and they're going to gamble by putting most of their pressure towards this B execution. So Black Dragons, all they have to do is take their time and try and pick these players apart. But Q9, they're in a very risky position. They've got 2 players playing top A, just slowly rotating out. They're going to get caught as well. The info's been given to Black Dragons. They know exactly where all of these remaining players are now, and all they have to do is collapse in. Notson, though, in the key position here. He goes down, but Will finds the shot onto Bean. It's going to be a 2-on-3. Will on 8 HP, though. Still a round that Q9 could pull away. Solo, a very strong player in these late round situations. They definitely want to be careful of his position here. Coming just late from Big Cage. He's going to be in a tight spot here, but Zemo, he's already been spotted, so Solo has to come through with the support quickly. But Zemo, he's taken down. It's Solo now left in a 1v3. The question is, can he do it again here? Solo, we've seen him do it before, but this time it's just not going to happen. ADRF takes him down. And just like that, Black Dragons, that's their first lead of the game now, 8-7.
That's what I was about to say. It's the first time they've managed to get themselves in the lead. And what a crucial time to do it as well. Just 2 rounds needed for them to get the win here up against Q9. One more round for Q9 to make your prediction come true. But regardless, we'll see if the win can come across. No snipers have really been being used by Black Dragons here, and they haven't really needed them. Beam hasn't had too many free picks on that defending side for Q9, so we'll see if that can change here. Let's go for the first shot. Won't be able to land anything, but a bit of a spot, a bit of info. And Black Dragons now look like might be going in towards the A bomb side. There are a few players hunting around here. Vienna's actually going for this entry. He's quite close. And CCHY, would he be ready for this?
He was able to grab 3 kills from this position last time, but not this time around. He's going to be taken down instantly from Notson, and it's already a 5-on-3. Black Dragons potentially able to close this one and put themselves on match point if they can find the round here. Still, Solo, Zemo, and Yaze alive. Yaze going for the wide flank, though. Will going to be pinched here. Doesn't matter. Finds himself a second frag this round. Yaze, though, gets him on the flank, but ADRF's there for the trade. It's going to be Zemo alone. This time it's a 1v4, and not a situation that Q9 were hoping for here. I think he's already been spotted as well by Notson. He's going to be spotted indeed. Vienna assisting with the wide peek there, but Danimal the one to close this out, and it's 9-7, and this is where it becomes crucial for Black Dragons to anchor down and close this one out, because it's not over yet. Overtime is still a possibility if Q9 picks up the last 2 in regulation.
And you can see how much it means to these Black Dragons players. Every single round they win, they're on their feet, gesturing at Q9, showing them exactly what this game means to them and how they know how big this win is. Like we talked about earlier, this isn't just your first win. This is your first win over arguably one of the, if not the favorites to take out this whole tournament. So to start off with a strong opening statement like a win against Q9 would be huge for them. But like you say, it's not over just yet. Q9 can take these remaining 2 rounds in regulation. We'll move into overtime and then golden round if we need it. So potentially still a lot of Crossfire yet to be played in map number 1 here on sub-base in the group stages.
Black Dragons, though, they're in a great position to close this one out if they just execute from their current stance, because Q9, they've gambled. They have 4 players in position to hold off an A-bomb site push, but Black Dragons, they seem more grouped to take this one potentially through mid into B. So definitely a situation where Q9 has to be ready to respond if it is indeed a B take, but Bean starts it off right. Even though he's alone on B, he finds the opening pick, but Vienna, he's already on the flank. Danimal finds one. They have control of this B bomb site, and it's a 3-on-3. Definitely a tough situation for Q9 now on the retake. They have nobody even close, and they have 2 players that have to push out and rotate from the bottom of A, so they're going to be picking up the pieces, to say the least, here on this retake, but still, you're going to see a lot of pressure coming in on this late round utility from Yaze. He knows he's the closest responder. He's going to force his way in here. Pre-fires the corner, but Danimal's ready, but Zemo peeks out just in time, gets a double kill. This could be Q9 holding on, but it's all on Notson here. Can he get another 1v2? Zemo solo. They fake the defuse. Notson, he's going to throw a nade on the bomb. It could kill Zemo, but still, he's alive, and it's a 1 HP play for Zemo. He has to win this with 1 HP, 12 seconds on the clock. Notson, could he do it for Black Dragons here? They're both down to 5 HP or less, and it's going to be Zemo. He gets it with 1 HP. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what went wrong there for Notson. He had every advantage, but it still falls away. Q9 pulling off a miracle, and they stay alive.
That was about 0.1 of a second remaining on that defuse. That was very, very close indeed, but nonetheless, it's Q9. Just when you thought Black Dragons had done enough, down to the 1v1, the time being played so well. Q9 snatch it away. Once again, the clutch rounds are starting to go in their favor, but both teams have had some big clutches so far this map, and it's just 1 more round needed for Q9 to force overtime here. 1 for Black Dragons, it must be said, would make your prediction correct, Carl. So you could be starting out this event prediction just genius.
And we did see there too, interestingly enough, Q9, they had all 5 players towards A at the start of the round, but now it's going to be a full switch back to their normal setup. But ZZHY, again, being the go-to player on these A bottom holds, it's looking like overtime is very much a possibility here. Q9, they may just be able to hold on thanks to that 1v1 from Zemo. ADRF, though, finds himself a frag of his own. Solo goes down, and now it's down to a 3v4. Black Dragons still. They're looking for another opening before they commit on this push. They want to have even numbers before they decide to commit with this bomb, but they do want to be careful here. The bomb actually still down on their spawn. They haven't picked it up yet, but Q9, they may just gamble here and stack B. They have 3 players already on the B bomb site, and they have ZZHY, rightfully so, all by himself on this A hold. He's been able to hold them off quite nicely alone, but he's actually going to start pulling up towards upper A as well. And Black Dragons, they're going for an A bomb site execution. This could be a perfect chance for them to turn the numbers back in their favor and close it out with a win here. All 3 players going to be going into an open site, but still, Q9, they have to be ready for this execution. ZZHY going to be the key player here and rotating in and making sure the call is made for his team to start pulling through. The bomb is going to be planted here. So now it's all about the retake here. 4-on-3 Q9. They have every advantage here except for the position of the bomb. They have to fight down 2 staircases, which can be extremely difficult even with that numbers advantage. As long as Black Dragons doesn't expose themselves to upper A, they're going to have a huge advantage on these angles that Q9 is going to be forced into. Q9, though, they have a man advantage. All they need to do is trade here. ADRF and Danimal going to be running into trouble. Danimal finds one. Danimal gets himself a double kill. This could be it. Yaze finds a double kill of his own. It's all on Knutson, but it's not going to happen. ZZHY, being the hero on this A bomb site, seals the deal. We'll have enough time to defuse, and just like that, with just a second to spare, we're going into overtime.
That's 2 rather close diffusers coming through for Q9, but they do get it done. Black Dragons, they make it so close. That round was a 4 versus 3 against them. They just had to play the time, play those frags, wait for that late push, and they almost made it work. But when it comes down to the 1v1, there's barely 2 seconds in it, but it does end up going the way of Q9. And so now to overtime. 6 rounds, first to 4. And if we go 3 apiece, then we play golden round.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough situation. I think Black Dragons is actually going to be put in a much harder situation now. You can see Q9 with those last 2 rounds going their way, even when they shouldn't have a lot more confidence now going into overtime. So Black Dragons, they're going to have to play even more insane in this overtime if they really want to close this one out. They had ample opportunities to do it, though. They did let a couple slip. Knutson, especially with that 1v1 against the 1 HP Zemo, definitely going to be haunting in here if Black Dragons do fall.
See which way it goes, though. And I do believe that the teams will start back on their initial sides that they're on this game. So Black Dragons, despite it being a 5-4 half, only lost it by 1 round. I feel like they definitely did better on their attacking side. Their wins, I think, were more conclusive on their attacking sides. And the rounds they lost came down to mostly these incredibly close 1v1s. Like, there was 2 rounds there at the end there they lost by 1v1s ending in mere seconds on that bomb timer. So I feel like their attacking side was a little bit better, and they will just start on the defense, I believe. So we'll see how this does go for them. But we're extending things now, going into overtime. It's no more 1 round will do it, or at least not just yet. That'll happen if we go 3 apiece moving into the golden round. But it's a bit of pressure off for Q9. They were fighting their way back into it. And for Black Dragons, they were 2 rounds up. They had 2 rounds on match points to be able to convert that, and they couldn't quite do it. So for them, it's got to be preying on their minds a little bit, surely.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing I'm looking forward to seeing in overtime, too, is will ADRF be that big impact player on the global risk side once again? I think he may have just had a couple one-off rounds that got him that momentum and that regulation. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be him who's going to step up and close things out here for Black Dragons, but honestly, we saw a lot of improvements from Knutson in the second half, and if he can take that into their global risk side here, it's still a winnable game for them at this point. But Q9, they were looking nuts in those last 2 rounds, which should definitely have Black Dragons a little bit nervous here.
You have to think so. As the teams sit and exchange frantic words. I was wondering where the SpongeBob was coming from, but it's on a hat. There you go. The SpongeBob hat, surely helping Knutson frag, right? That's how this works?
Apparently so. I mean, he's had a great second half there, but unfortunately, that 1v1, though, with Zemo on 1 HP, just a difficult way to let the map slip in regulation. It would have been 10-7 for them at that point, too, but they can't let it be something that hangs on to them now. They've got to move forward and see if they can press on to take down Q9. But what a way it would be to start off the tournament if the team predicted to do the best going into this goes down in the very, very first map. That's going to have a lot of other teams thinking how beatable they truly are.
Yeah, and even the fact that Black Dragons have managed to get it this far. I mean, Q9 to get into overtime had to win a couple of very, very close 1v1s. So it's not even like they were clearly dominant and then Black Dragons pulled it back. Black Dragons got to match point first and only barely lost it. So I think no matter which way this one goes, Q9 certainly look a little bit more mortal. But we'll have to see heading later into this one. And I do want to talk about Knutson in that very low HP 1 versus 1 there. That defuse came through with about a 1/10 of a second remaining. So very possible that the thought process was, well, we're both one hit. If I swing and I keep him off the defuse that little bit longer, even if I die, surely he can't get it. He was only wrong by about a tenth of a second, so it was a near thing, but still one of those things that regardless of how justified that decision was, it's going to keep you up at night if that's the one that loses them the game.
Yeah, definitely, but now this is their chance to step it up and really have a big impact in overtime. Honestly, one of the players I was expecting to see a lot in regulation from didn't really do much was Danimal. I think he can be a huge impact here in overtime if he can help step up for his team and really make a lot of difference here moving forward for these guys. But on top of that, Vienna had a lot of struggles as well. At the beginning of the first half, it seemed like he wasn't sure if he wanted to challenge Bean down wood, and then he finally went for the challenge a couple rounds but lost 3 in a row. So he definitely needs to step it up here if he wants to be able to lock down that position, especially going up against players like Bean and Zemo, who always like to go for that early control over towards A.
Looking at Solo here, he was certainly a very high impact player as well. That 1v3 in round number 3, we've seen a few 1v2s, 1v3s won so far in regulation, and none of them were like Solos. Most of them, the players either had the bomb down and were able to play off that, or they were able to find the 1v1s on the defensive side, rotating into that bomb site and then grab the defuse. Solo was stuck in the open with all 3 players peeking him almost simultaneously, and he still managed to find the 3 kills very, very quickly, flicking between the positions. So that was certainly an excellent round from him. Let's see if there can be more of that heading into overtime. It's certainly been, I would say, a clutch-heavy game, Carl.
Oh, definitely, and it really just shows the individual talent on both of these rosters. Really, any one of them can pop off at any moment, but right now, this is really when, as a team, they need to anchor down. I think Q9, they were almost playing too much of an aim game there in that first half, and I think that's ultimately how Black Dragons caught up. They've been playing a very more calculated game here compared to Q9, who just wants to take the raw aim duels. They want to take those 1v1s and just isolate these players into a chance to aim duel them, but Black Dragons, they abused that. They knew they were going to have an aggressive team up against them. They played passive, they weighted it down, and once they got through that sort of nervous period where they were getting nervous when the clock got too low, they started to play really, really well.
And as you say, that was certainly the strategy for Q9, was to go very slowly, take map control, and then explode onto a bomb site with 10 seconds left, 15 seconds left, something like that, and then trust their aim could carry them through. But now, moving into overtime here, it is 1st to 4 rounds. If we go 3 apiece, then we play a golden round. The winner of that takes the whole thing. But the slates are wiped clean. We essentially start afresh.
Yeah, both teams going to be very, very, very looking forward to potentially capitalizing on this first round, because getting that first lead in overtime is a huge difference maker. And it is, as you can see, Q9 Zemo, 2 big headshots to open it up. Vienna finds one in the trade, taking down Solo, but still, it's a 4-on-2. Danimal and Vienna, they have to step up big time. Otherwise, this first round could quickly go into Q9's hands, and that's exactly what you want to see from them in overtime. They're not afraid to start things off aggressive and change the pace of this game, and that's exactly what they're known for here, making sure that they control the pace of the game. And now Black Dragons, they're going to face a ton of pressure here, but Vienna catches a player with his back turn, finds himself a double, make it a triple kill. The 2v4 down to a 2-on-1. It's all on CZHY, and just like that, Black Dragons, they have a chance here. Danimal closes it in the 1v1, and Vienna just living it up there. You can see that 3K got the fire in his heart he needed to potentially move this forward towards a map win, but that's a big mistake from Q9. 2 players caught with their back turn, and just a perfect sneak in play there from Vienna.
I think it might have even been a 4 frag in the round. So Nili doing it all by himself. Just denied the ace there at the end, but doesn't matter. Danimal was able to clean it up, and that's what matters in the 2 versus 1 like that. If one of you goes down, you've just got to be able to get that trade across the line. Go and defuse that bomb. So Black Dragon, this time it's their turn to steal away a round that should not have been theirs. We saw Q9 do that quite a few times. This time it's Black Dragon managing to run away with a 2 versus 4 on the back of some huge individual plays. And that's the first round for them in this overtime. 2 more, they guarantee at least golden round. 3 more and they've got it. Still a fair bit to be played here, but they've started off the right way.
Now Q9, they can definitely feel the pressure. They have almost no map control either to start this one off, and they have no idea that Vienna is going to be sniping as well. He made the confident decision to pull it back out after having a successful round to start off overtime here, but Q9, they're left in a position where they have to find this opening early, because Black Dragons, they know they have the lead now, and they're just going to be playing extremely passive to throw all of the pressure onto Q9. This could take away that clock factor as well from Q9 as a sort of nervous maker, because Black Dragons, They're looking confident as ever. Vienna's made the adjustments on holding down wood, and now they have ADRF over there with him as well. I think it's a smart decision to have two of your stronger fraggers just locking down one of those key positions here. Right now, though, a lot of pressure going to be thrown out towards the A bomb site, and it's going to be Danimal still able to switch from having utility out, pulls out the gun, and still takes down Zemo and survives with half HP. Flashbangs come out. Yaze wants to get this trade frag to go his way, but Danimal, he's done his job here. He's stalled the push, and now Q9, they're forced off into a tough spot here. Solo, though, he snuck into vents, and this is a position you're going to want to watch out for here. He can make a flank if his team, in fact, decides to go all the way back to B. He's going to be in a position where he can be right behind all of these players in cage, so he can just drop down and put the pressure right on him. But it looks like he may just fall off of this position and potentially group up for a rotation in for his team here. But still, he's going to be spotted as well. He's going to run into trouble. Yaze, he's going to go down on the flank already without a fight. Solo finds one before he goes down, but it's not going to matter. Black Dragons, they have locked down the site completely, and it's being left alone. No bomb in his hands, and it's going to be a 1v4. Black Dragons in full control of the bomb, but Bean finds a first there with the Desert Eagle. Still has a lot more work left to be done, and that shot gives away his position, and ADRF is able to clean this one up with another round in OT going to Black Dragons.
Black Dragons hyping themselves up after every single win. It's what you need in a situation like this. Every time you take a round of a team like Q9, who you think should be the favorites coming into this, you got to remind yourself that they are indeed mortal, that you can indeed get the wins away from them. And Black Dragons now 1 away from match point. They did have 2 match points earlier, so maybe 3 is what they need to get across the line. But Vienna on the AWM will find himself that first pick. And now Danimal, again, he's managed to get his 1-for-1, 2-for-1 in fact. Makes it a 4 versus 2, and in overtime, he's certainly stepped up to do what needs to be done. Vienna with the pistol comes in, 2 quick pistol frags, and it's a clean half for Black Dragons. They know how much it means.
And now, this is Q9 looking probably the most tense they have this entire match so far, but rightfully so. 3-0 half for Black Dragons in our first half of overtime, and now they're going into a half where they actually did better than their global risk half in regulation, so you can already tell the confidence is high on their side. But again, it's not over yet, and we've seen them slip in these clutch situations to Q9, and this is Q9. They really got to capitalize on that, because if this team is overhyped, they may play out of position here. So Q9, if they anchor down, they could still take this one into a golden round, but still, all they need is perfection at this point to close it out.
All they can afford is perfection. It has to be completely flawless from them, and Black Dragons, they've had their time, they've had a little bit of a celebration, now they focus up. 3 match points on deck. They've had 2 previously and it wasn't quite enough. Maybe this time 3 will do it. Got a bit to play with as well now. And on their attacking side, did do pretty well in this in regulation. We'll see what they can do here. Bean onto that AWM once again. He hasn't had a round without it. On the side of Q9 here, and he'll have to try and open up a pick, but Black Dragons once again playing slow, taking the map control. And as you say, I think this is Q9 looking the most nervous we've seen them.
Black Dragons playing pretty slow here. They're trying to read all these positions before they commit to either bomb site. This time it is going to be Q9 playing basically a retake A setup. They've only got 1 player, and it's actually going to be Bean on the back of A. Interesting decision to have Bean playing on A, because he didn't really solo A hardly at all in regulation, but maybe this adjustment could be exactly what they need here. But a sniper alone on a bomb site, not how you want to take it. But Black Dragons, they're already putting the pressure on to B, so still an opportunity there, but they do have Will sitting on the back of the A staircase, so a lot of opportunities to catch these players off guard. But Black Dragons, they still have no commitment from this bomb just yet. They're slowly adjusting their way in towards B, but Yaze, he's up in the rafters, so Vienna has to be careful if he's the one entering to clean up these positions. They have to check everything. They can't afford to make the mistakes earlier like they did with ZZHY's position on the backside of A. ADRF, though, rightfully so, stepping up to the helm here. He's going to be leading this charge into B. The bomb, though, looking to potentially split out. And this is where Q9 has to be careful. They're going to go for a triple push out of L-turn onto the back of B as well at the same time. But ZZHY, again, ready to react here. Zemo finds himself 1 as well. But Will, he enters with 2, but Zemo, he's going to hold it down. But ADRF jumps down from the rafters, finds a frag. And now this is their chance to close. It's a 2v2 and a very winnable one. Bean finds one and knocks in. He's too low to make it happen. Solo comes up with the cleanup frag, and Q9 just barely able to hold on to fight another round.
Again, though, it's a matter of inches that they're able to hold on to it. The double peek was there onto Bean, trying to close him out, get into that 2v1. And he's able to delay, survive just long enough to be able to get one, let his teammate rotate in and pick up the remainder. So Now Black Dragon's going fast into that A. Bomb site, Beans here alone. He's managed to hit his first with the AWM. Will was the only player pushing there as well. So the pressure for now is alleviated on Q9. Still a lot of pressure on them. They are 2 rounds down, but they've found themselves the first pick, and no one from Black Dragons is able to answer it just yet. They will be walking down into A, where Bean will lay in wait again. Solo in the vents. And Danimal this time going to be the first face.
Right now, Solo catches ADRF off guard, and that's going to be enough information for Q9 to potentially close out this round. Bean finds himself another from the backside of Missile as well, and Black Dragons, they're going to struggle here to say the least in this 5-on-2. Vienna going to be caught as well. Q9 already in a 5-on-1 as they take down Vienna as well. Natsun, he's going to have to pull off a miracle. Otherwise, it's just going to be 1 round away from a potential golden round here. But Natsun, he's going to try and sneak out, finds his way out of double doors, but it's not going to matter. ZZHY takes him down, and Q9 live with all players to move on to the next round.
And Black Dragons that round felt a bit sloppy from them. It was a lot of individual peaks. Of course, ADRF getting caught out in vents. You can't always expect that. If you just you crouch walk in somewhere and you get shot in the side of the head, what can you do? But being able to get away with 2 kills or 3 kills even on that A-bomb site, not 2 it was, either way. Being able to get away with a multi-kill on that A-bomb site without really being pressured at all is a massive thing for him, and something the Black Dragons need to account for. But nonetheless, we're now in the final round. This is it. This is either the win for Black Dragons or we go into golden round, at which point it really is a best of 1.
And Black Dragons, they've read this precisely how they need to. They know because of Bean's success in that last round, they're probably going to have him posted again alone. And this time, if they don't give him the opportunity to grab anything more than a solo frag here, this should be their chance to fully control this A-bomb site. So Black Dragons, they've set up perfectly knowing this position that they're going to have up against them. However, they still need to be very careful here. There's 2 players playing towards the top of A who could easily rotate in or rain in fire down from above. You've got ZZHY and Solo both playing up atop A here on that easy rotate. But Bean, he's going to be playing on the back box here behind Missile. He is ready for this execution, and here it comes. He's going to have to get at least 1 on this cross, but he misses his shot. AGRF gets the opening frag. He actually lagged him in the process there. Bean not able to secure a kill. This could be a huge way to close it out, though. Black Dragons, they take it to a 5-on-3. Danimal gets the double kill, drop down out of vents. That's going to be huge. 2v5 now. Solo and Yaze looking for a miracle, but Danimal, he picks up a 3rd kill. He's not done just yet. Survives it with 2 HP. Doesn't matter. It's game over. The quad kill goes to Danimal, and that's going to be 13-11. Black Dragons take the first map here.
And you said it needed to be Danimal. You wanted it to be Danimal at the very start of the game. He had a few decent rounds, getting 1 or 2 kills, but the 4 frag in the final round of the game, or what could have been the second last, had gone through. But nonetheless, Danimal steps up, 4 huge kills, and Q9 go down in the first game of the day.
Definitely a crazy performance from everybody on Black Dragons. Honestly, they all had amazing individual plays, and I think the rest of their team stepping up is really how they were able to close out this overtime. You saw both Danimal and Vienna, who weren't huge impact players in regulation, really helped bring this one to a close. And honestly, Black Dragons, I think a lot of it too, that veto from the start was very strong for them, and it gave them a chance to play a map where they were comfortable, and it really just showed there.
So that is exactly the start here that these guys on your screen would have wanted. Coming into it with the win over Q9. Massive, massive things for them, and I don't think really the way that Q9 would have wanted their tournament to start. You said it was going to be a 10-8. In the end, it was closer than that, but it's still Black Dragons that managed to steal a win away from perhaps one of the best teams at the tournament.
Yeah, now Black Dragons, they're honestly going to be in a position where they could very well, with another big win, work themselves as one of our first teams into that guaranteed top 4 in that bracket stage, because honestly, one of their biggest threats is already out of the way for them, so they have a much easier time now, and they look forward at their next teams. They're going to be feeling pretty confident here because nobody in their minds was probably as primed to beat them as Q9 was, but again, I think it just comes down to they had a very strong veto to go their way. They got lucky on that roll, getting a map like sub-based, where Chinese teams notoriously do get upset on, so I think they still have a lot to think about moving forward, and honestly, a sub-based ban would not surprise me for teams in the future who go up against Black Dragons.
Yeah, they certainly looked very organized on that map, but regardless, the fact they do manage to pull that win away, they've started their tournament off very well indeed. Of course, all of the teams in our group stages, around Robin, everyone wants to start off 1-0, but there's a big difference between starting off 1-0 against, say, maybe a boss or something like that, than getting a 1-0 over Q9, who, as we've said multiple times, are one of the favorites here. It's a massive scalp to claim in your first game, so I think Black Dragons will be very happy with that, but can't get too excited just yet. Still a lot of games for all these teams yet to be played, and a lot of games for them, so they need to not not get too excited here heading into their future games.
Yeah, Q9's still a team to look out for. They played phenomenally individually. I think it's just going to come down to a little bit more calculated team play from them so they can really make sure they trade out in those situations where they almost get a little bit too overconfident and give it up. But honestly, Black Dragons, they're looking like one of the teams to beat now, and I'm very excited to see how they move forward here.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to watch, I think, watch them develop over the next few days of this tournament. And I think, as you say, for Q9, it was a bit of overconfidence there. They certainly, in the early stages of that game, were relying on just taking map control and then running in and, hey, we'll win the aim duels. And it certainly worked a few times, but Black Dragons started to cotton on. They started putting up more players, getting ready, reading the positions, and taking down these Q9 players. Because when it came to it, when they had their crossfires set and ready, Black Dragons were able to keep up in that aim department. So perhaps a bit more team play, as you said, a bit more relying on the trades of crossfires and moving as a unit for Q9. We'll see them success further in. But they go down in overtime, almost all the way to golden round. By no means lay out of this.
Definitely not. And honestly, looking at the other teams Q9 has to go up against, they're going to be favored in pretty much every situation here, even though Black Dragons was able to take them down. You've got the likes of teams like Boss and Carbon, teams they feel pretty confident against as their next couple matches. So I think they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves still, even with that loss. Obviously, you don't want to start 0-1, but if you're a team like Q9, you definitely know that you have that ability to bounce back.
Exactly that. I think they're certainly a team, and we can't call them a favorite and also say this is a big problem for them. Because sure, it's a loss. You don't want to start with a loss, but it's a very near thing. It's a loss in overtime, in the final round of overtime. So I think they'll still be fine going further on into this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Overall, a very exciting first match. But guys, we are going to have a quick break, and we will be right back with our second match up of the day. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. We have 11 best of ones all throughout the day, and it's going to be exciting to see who ends out day one on top here, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.